My official summer weather forecast for 2023 is finally complete, and today I'm going to present to you my predictions for this upcoming summer season. We have quite a bit to talk about, so without further delay, let's first take a look at a couple weather anomalies that will have a significant impact on our summertime weather. Well, firstly, I'm sure many of you have heard this term already, the El Niño Southern Oscillation. This is also known as ENSO, and it is a phenomenon which affects climate variability and weather patterns across the globe. For the last 3 years, we have been stuck in a rare triple dip La Niña, which is a cold phase of the waters of the equatorial Pacific. This weather pattern generally tends to bring wetter and cooler temperatures to the northern United States, while the south is drier and warmer than usual. This is part of the reason why portions of the West have been enduring an extreme drought for years. That's all about to change. Sea surface temperatures have been steadily rising over the equatorial Pacific for the first time in years, which means that an El Niño is developing. So what does this mean for our weather? Well, every El Niño is different, but there are also many other factors in the world of weather which affects the way weather is every year. Generally speaking, though, El Niños tend to do the opposite of La Niños. Basically, this means that the southern United States cools off and gets more precipitation, while the north gets warmer than average temperatures with less precipitation. Another interesting feature to keep an eye on this summer are those cooler waters off the west coast of the United States. According to long-range weather models, those waters look to remain cooler than average through much of the summertime and possibly through the rest of the year, which may lead to cooler conditions over parts of the West. With these factors in mind, let's get straight into my temperature forecast for June through August of 2023. First off, just like I mentioned earlier, I'm forecasting cooler than normal temperatures over parts of the western US during the summer months due to those colder than usual ocean temperatures. This darker blue shade which I have shaded in is where I have even more confidence in a cooler summer, and that includes all of Western California. This next orange layer extends from the northwest down into the southern half of the US and up the east coast. This is where I'm expecting an increased probability of warmer than average temperatures. This deeper orange shade that extends from the interior northwest into the south and also including the east is where I believe warmer than normal temperatures are likely this summer. Long-range weather models are also showing a persistent high-pressure system developing over the Four Corner states as we head into the summer months. This could lead to much drier and warmer weather over this region of the country, especially in the second half of summer. Because of that, I have even more confidence in warmer than average temperatures within this red area, which includes parts of Texas up into Utah. The Climate Prediction Center also agrees with me, and they're predicting an area of increased confidence in warmer than normal temperatures over the southwest US. Lastly, I have shaded in the Great Lakes and north central US under a gray shade. This is where I'm expecting equal chances or near average summer temperatures. It's important to note that El Niño summers tend to bring temperatures right around average, especially in the Great Lakes region, with even some periods of cooler temperatures. Because of that, I think this whole gray area has the best chance at seeing near average summer temperatures. Moving on to the precipitation forecast, I'm expecting to see drier than normal conditions over a swath of the western United States. Probabilities increase in a dry summer in two separate areas that I've shaded in. One is over the southwestern United States, and this correlates with that very persistent high-pressure system that looks to develop over the summer months. The other area of increased confidence and below normal precipitation is over the northwest. This is mostly due to the lack of storms that will track through that region during the summer, since the jet stream will be moving south. On the contrary, this large area of green across the eastern US looks to potentially see a wetter than average summertime. This will especially be true over parts of the South and the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, where I have increased confidence in a wetter and stormier summer. I'm also leaning towards a stronger signal of wet conditions over the Florida Peninsula, primarily for the first half of summer before precipitation kind of averages out. Overall, I'm thinking that Florida will see a slightly wetter than normal summer. This now brings us to my personal severe weather forecast for the summertime. There are three primary areas that I want you to focus on. One of these areas is over the southwestern United States, where I'm expecting a quieter monsoon season, therefore leading to less severe storms than usual. This will again be due to that very persistent high pressure system that we are expecting to develop and then strengthen over the summer months. That will help suppress thunderstorm development and increase heat across the region. But that same high pressure system may create a northwest flow regime over the summer, and because of that, I'm expecting a particularly active severe weather season across this red shade from the northern plains all the way through the mid-Atlantic. To further explain, this is what the general weather pattern may look like by July. You can see that high pressure system becoming well defined over the southwest, particularly over New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Colorado, and Utah. But what you will also notice is that northwest to southeast movement of the isobars, indicating a northwest flow regime over the country. This could serve as a slip and slide type of setup for thunderstorms, therefore leading me to believe that we will see lots of storms within these red shades. Dark red shade is where I think we will see the greatest concentration of severe weather events, like mesoscale convective systems and even derechos. That means that places like the Dakotas down into the Midwest and eventually the Ohio Valley need to be on high alert for storms this summer. Another portion of the country that may see above average severe weather is Florida. Like I mentioned in the precipitation outlook, we may see above average thunderstorm activity, especially in the first half of summer, so this also leads me to believe that we will see increased thunderstorm and even severe thunderstorm activity in this region. And of course, that gray area represents the average zone, so that basically means that I'm not expecting anything too out of the ordinary for the summer in regards of severe weather. And this now takes us to my wildfire forecasts for the summer. Unfortunately, wildfires do become a big issue for the United States and many other countries during the summertime. I have shaded the entire country in this yellow color, which means a low risk. While a lot of areas will not see wildfires, especially the eastern two-thirds of the country, there's always at least a small threat. The potential for wildfires will grow within this large orange area, which encompasses pretty much the entirety of the West, excluding areas like Northwest Oregon and Western Washington State. But these two red areas is where I have particular concern for wildfires this year, due to dry and hot conditions expected. Another area of particular concern is over a large portion of the interior Northwest, and this will be due to the much warmer and drier conditions that we're expecting. Now that we have taken a look at all of my personal forecasts, it's time to put it all together into an overall forecast for the summer. For the Pacific Northwest, you can expect a dry and hot summer. For places like California, you are in for a relatively average summer, but those cold ocean temperatures might keep the weather a bit cooler than usual, especially closer to the coast. For the Southwest, I'm expecting a muted monsoon season with warmer than usual conditions. This doesn't mean you won't have any stormy days, but it will just be quieter than last year's monsoon. For the southern high plains and interior Northwest, significant wildfires, intense heat waves, and dry conditions look to be the main headlines. Over the southern plains, near average precipitation is expected with extreme heat. Like every year, southern Louisiana through the southeast and mid-Atlantic states need to be paying close attention to the tropics. Warmer and wetter than normal conditions look likely for much of the southeast into parts of the Tennessee Valley in this green shade. The red shade is the severe weather zone, or where I expect the bullseye of severe storms to be. Then over the northeast, you can expect similar weather to the Pacific Northwest, which is a drier and hotter than average summer. Storms may occasionally rumble across the region, but overall temperatures look to be on the warmer than usual side, with slightly below average precipitation. Lastly, the gray shade. This is where I'm expecting the summer to be the closest to average than everyone else, so nothing too out of the ordinary is expected. And that will conclude my summer forecast. I hope you enjoyed this video. This video took me multiple days of study and research, so if anything, please help out the video by giving it a like or even commenting. If you enjoy my content, you can also subscribe to this channel for much more weather content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.